Hi everyone, today we're going to take a look at bridal planning in Spotlight. Bridals come in many varieties, two-leg, three-leg, reverse two-leg, and so on. But fundamentally, they all do the same thing. They enable you to position and support flown equipment in the correct location. They do this by using one or more steel rope legs to create a temporary rigging point. Since two-leg bridles are the most common type of bridle used, let's use them for our example. Auto insertion mode makes adding a bridle really easy. Activate the bridle tool, use two-leg mode, and the preview shows where and how the bridle will be inserted. It displays where the legs will be supported from and what will be supported or picked up by the bridle. Manual mode is a little harder, since you have to set the rigging point for each leg individually, and then the pickup for the load. There's dedicated modes for other common bridle types, such as three-leg bridles and dead hangs. Bridal planning involves more than just being able to quickly draw them. There are a variety of bridal tool options and settings that can be used to streamline both the drawing process and configuring the build plan afterwards. The first group of settings to look at are in the tool mode bar. These are the primary drawing modes. They control what type of bridle and how the tool will draw it. First up is auto insertion versus manual. Then you can select the type of bridle you're drawing. If you're drawing in manual mode, set the leg trim height. Use auto numbering so that basic info like the bridle ID is entered while drawing instead of having to add it later. Choose a bridle style in the selector to configure your bridle, or use the preferences to configure it manually, which leads neatly into the second group of settings, the bridle preferences. These can be accessed here in the tool mode bar or from the Spotlight menu. The preferences can be used to manually configure how the tool will draw bridles or to set up styles to streamline the configuration process. Styles are how you can save settings and recall them later. Every setting in the preferences has a toggle icon, which is used to set whether that setting is editable when using the style. It's important to remember, though, that even when you set a parameter or setting to by instance, you're still saving the current state of that setting into the style. General covers default part choices like what's your standard shackle, the type of stack chain you want to use, and which leg will be added to, along with being able to set auto insertion to snap to structural members, and if you want to use a hoist for the down leg or not. Insertion constraints define how the bridle will be drawn. These control things like the minimum and maximum leg angles, leg lengths, and apex heights. Choose to apply the constraints to a specific leg or all of them. You can use as many or as few constraints as you wish, but the more you use, the harder it is for the bridle tool to meet them and successfully create the bridle. Set data tag labels that will be added with the bridle as you draw. You can assign different tags to each part of the bridle. Last up is the classing section. Use the default rigging bridle class structure or set your own to match your template. Effective use of the preferences and custom styles will reduce the amount of time you have to spend manually configuring how your bridles will be built. Planning the configuration of your bridles is just as important as drawing them. Bridles will be automatically configured when drawn based on the preferences you have set in the tool and the available bridle parts. But you'll likely still want to be able to adjust the steels and other parts for the legs. Select the bridles you want to configure and open the configuration dialog from the properties. Set the bridle or bridles you want to work on, then choose the leg. Choose steels and shackles from the available parts and add them to the leg, basket, or pickup parts lists. Drag the parts up and down inside the list views to set the build order. When a chain part is added, you'll be asked to set its length. Once you're happy with your bridle's configuration, it can be used to generate material lists for booking the equipment and to create bridle assembly diagrams to show your grounder or warehouse team exactly how each bridle should be pre-assembled, ready to haul into the roof. If you want to learn more about the Spotlight rigging tools and other parts of Vectorworks, ask the Vectorworks AI assistant or visit the Vectorworks University, our online e-learning portal.